Now I'm back at the War Memorial Centre. This is Mike, he's one of the team. And what are we going to talk about this corner here, are we?
Well, we're going to, first of all, John, we're going to talk about why Ohakea was located in the area that it was.
Right, there must be some reasons here.
Well, originally it was earmarked to be an airship base.
An airship base?
Yes.
Wow.
There was going to be an Imperial Air Route all the
so
way from...
these babies here?
Yes. So there was going to be an Imperial Air Route from London going through Europe, Southeast Asia, through India, coming down to Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, right.
That was the plan. And
so that would have been what years? About?
Well, that was in the 1920s.
Gosh.
There was a report written in 1923. Airships were the up-and-coming thing at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
And the picture that you see there depicts the one of the airships, the R100, that crossed the Atlantic to Canada.
Okay.
And back again.
Wow.
And so that was the plan.
Ohakea was going to be the big base.
Yes, and Whenuapai.
Oh, okay.
So they were chosen for those reasons. But then the sister airship to the R100, the R101, that crashed in northern France.
Right.
So that really put
a spanner in the works.
That put an end to the whole airship idea. And the infrastructure would have been enormous, and the financing of it would have been huge sums of...
Right,
and it was in the Depression years.
Yeah, they are big babies, aren't they?
Yes, yes. So really, it was a little bit too much, really.
Right, for little old New Zealand.
Yes, we're bored with the idea.
Australia was going to be...
they were going to be a stop-off place as well, you see, because the airships had come through Australia to here.
Yep, yeah.
But they never really warmed to the idea.
Right, so what happened after the airship idea?
Well, there was a report written about it, and then that was shelved.
Okay.
And then in the 1930s...
that's this part here.
Yes. Ralph Cochrane, the officer in the greatcoat and pea cap on the right, he came out to New Zealand and read the 1923 report.
Yep.
And they did some more investigation and looking at different areas that could be utilised.
Yep.
And then they came to the conclusion that Ohakea was the ideal spot.
Right.
For an air base. Because the land was flat, it was well away from any hills.
Yep. And it's reasonably good weather and all that sort of stuff.
Good weather, good draining land, you know.
Right.
It was far enough inland so that they couldn't be bombarded by ship, you know.
Right.
Far enough away.
Yeah.
To in case a warship or something came up and started bombarding.
So all the tools came out and.
So basically, the government gave it the green light in 1938. So Ohakea was built in Whenuapai.
Okay.
So because of a steel shortage, there was stressed steel construction for the smaller hangars, like number 1 hangar and 4 and 5 hangars, but the two main
that's the big ones that people see.
Number 2 and number 3 hangar, yes, and the same at Whenuapai. They were built out of stressed concrete. Stressed
concrete, so you can see, people can see the beams.
Well, the beams come down and they take the weight of the whole structure, and they're L-shaped underneath. So under the ground, they're sort of L-shaped, and that takes the weight of the structure. And they were built in 3 sections, and you can see here where they've put sort of little rails down, and each section is being railed around into position.
Okay.
And then they'd be joined up.
Wow, isn't that amazing? And 1937, 38.
Yes, 38. 38, 39.
38, 39.
I think it was late 39 when the base opened.
Yeah.
Golly, but you can see that's the old station headquarters and control tower.
Okay.
That's the officers' mess.
Right.
That's the senior NCO's mess there, and some of the barrack blocks.
Right.
That's the old water tower.
Okay.
And those are officers' houses.
Right.
And they're still there today. That's one hangar.
Right.
And
Yeah, I drove through, and you could see it looks like Art Deco buildings,
very much so.
1920s, 30s.
It is. It's well, it was the Art Deco period when the base was made.
Right.
If you look at the guardhouse next to the old main gate, that's like a little Art Deco house almost.
Gosh, okay.
Yeah. So it is very much an Art Deco base.
Right.
And
But I wasn't allowed. Yeah, I wasn't allowed. It was in to see that big and hill thing, and we weren't allowed to take photographs or anything like that. Yeah.
So yeah, it was. They had 3 shifts going, 24 hours a day, pouring the concrete, and they were huge undertakings.
Yeah.
I think they were some of the biggest projects in New Zealand at that point.
Yes.
Originally
it's
they
quite
were
an achievement, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Originally they were going to have earth-covered roofs.
Okay.
So they were going to have the whole structure partly underground sort of thing, but that never happened. But the roofs are bomb-proof,
Right.
but the doors were were splinter and blast-proof.
Okay.
But they were very, very heavy, and they had special winding gear,
Right.
or you'd have to use a tractor to open them. And
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
early 60s, they took the original doors away, and then put up lighter doors that could be pushed open.
Okay. Right. Oh, that's incredible.
And the taxiways and the runways
Yep.
were built of these hexagonal concrete blocks.
Right. And they were all dug up too, weren't they? Just recently, or a few years ago.
Well,
now.
progressively they've renewed everything. As aircraft got heavier and heavier, the blocks were tilting.
Okay.
And they had to progressively
That's these blocks
do
here,
all the
isn't it?
taxiways and the runways. They've done it a few times.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's on sandy country as well, so
Yes.
everything's
Yes.
floating around
Yes.
a bit, isn't it?
Well, when Dad was on the Canberras, they took the whole squadron up to Whanuapai for 3 weeks.
Okay.
Once while they did the runways.
Right. Yeah, what an achievement. And these photographs are here for anybody to see?
Yes,
Because the place is open
absolutely. Yes,
every day?
We're open 7 days a week.
Yep.
Yes, so
yep.
anyone can pop in and
Right.
and have a look. Hopefully, we're going to add to this. So it's
Right.
still work in progress.
Okay,
But,
okay.
yes, we'll certainly put up more if we can get more.
Right.
More
Oh,
photographs.
as you update it,
Yes.
we'll do another movie. So that's incredible stories, isn't it?
Well, they were
it's
certainly
really
huge.
impressive.
They were certainly huge
Hangars.
building programs,
Yeah.
and they had a little railway line that came from Sanson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a little sort of a line, and they brought all the materials and everything in. So it was a huge undertaking.
Oh, that'd be interesting to find out about that. Okay, Mike. Well,
good.
I'll leave it there.
Right,
Good stuff.
John.
Thanks very much. That's really,
quite a
really
ride.
appreciated. Yeah. Rightio. Okay.
all
Bye
good.
bye.
Righto.
Okay. So this is where they are, but you'll have to search for the whole thing. Ohakea War Memorial Aviation Centre.
Yeah.